Hello, good day everyone. This is Keja Loretta from BSN 3A, and for today's lesson, we are going to talk about the mythological or archetypal approach, or the Jungian criticism. Let's get started. So, what is mythological or archetypal criticism? Mythological or archetypal criticism is a way of analyzing literature by looking at universal patterns, symbols, and characters that appear across different cultures and times. This approach is based on the idea that stories follow certain structures from ancient myths, religious texts, and shared human experiences. In short, when we say universal patterns, it means no matter what time, period, or culture you have, we tend to follow a certain repeated patterns when we create a literature, and it is the symbols, characters, and even the storylines. And just so as you know, repeated patterns are called archetypes. So that is why mythological and archetypal criticism are just the same. Okay? Jungian criticism proponent. We have here Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, who introduced the concept of the collective unconscious, which is the idea that all humans share a set of inherited memories, symbols, and experiences. He called these universal symbols archetypes, which appear in myths, dreams, and stories. So, mythological and archetypal Jungian criticism are all the same. They are one, because I mentioned a while ago about the universal patterns. It is the repeated symbols, characters, or storylines that we follow in our literature. And so as the collective unconscious, it is innate within us. It is our ability to store ancient patterns in our brains that we tend to comprehend it right away, even though we didn't really directly learn it from anyone. Yes. And just the same with universal patterns, it do follow a repeated or reoccurring patterns regarding with a literature. It do have a characters, symbols, plot, and sometimes a hero, and so on and so forth. Later, you'll find out what are these three key features of the Jungian criticism. So here's our basis in order for us to know easily that it belongs to the Jungian criticism. Here are the common archetypes to be remembered. First, we have the hero, so the main character who goes on a journey to fulfill a destiny. Second, we have the mentor. In a story, there must be a wise guide who helps the hero. Third, we have the shadow. It talks about the dark side or the challenge the hero must overcome. And of course, lastly, we have the quest, the journey the hero takes to find meaning or fulfillment within herself or himself. So, along the way, when we say Jungian criticism, there must be a self discovery and also a self fulfillment or self development. Yes. Now let's get to know the story of Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So I have here the full book summary of the story, and it's comprehensible because I made sure that all the words, phrases are easy to catch up. Let's start right away. Santiago, a young man, an adventurous shepherd from Andalusia, keeps having the same strange dream whenever he slips under a sycamore tree growing in the ruins of a church. In the dream, a child tells him that there is a treasure waiting for him at the foot of the Egyptian pyramids. Curious about its meaning, Santiago visits a gypsy woman who surprises him by saying that he must go to the Egypt to find it. Gypsy here means fortune teller. Next. Soon after, he meets an unusual old man named Melchizedek, who introduces himself as the king of Salem. Melchizedek tells Santiago that finding the treasure is his personal legend. Personal legend means his true purpose in life. Encouraged by this, Santiago sells his flock and sets off on his journey, heading first to Tangier or Tangier, I don't know. However, when he arrives, a thief steals all his money, leaving him with nothing. Struggling to survive, he finds work at a local crystal shop owned by a kind but cautious merchant. While working there, Santiago learns important life lessons and convinces the merchant to take risks to grow his business. The risk paid off, and after a year, Santiago becomes wealthy enough to continue his journey. So the reason why the merchant's business grow, it's or become successful, it's because of Santiago because he recommended to add the tea business atong crystal shop even though they are not really offering that at first. And also at first ni decline pod ang merchant because kanang nisway na daw siya na sa una but it's not that koan ko no halinon, not that in demand. And also katong statue nga indicator nga kani siya kay crystal shop ni siya. And naa sa gawas but however it causes a kanang kuan bitaw, it causes a traffic sa Mangagi. So that's why they were forced to eradicate it. And yeah. So ang pinaka main dyan nga nakapa-success nila is katong tea business because people loved it. Yeah. It was in demand. Na in demand siya bisag dingon tong merchant ka dili daw siya in demand. But it turns out in demand dito siya ganahan ng mga tao. Next. Santiago decides to use his hard earned money to continue his journey and follow his personal legend. Finding the treasure at the pyramids, he joins a caravan traveling across the Sahara Desert toward Egypt. Along the way, he meets an Englishman who is studying alchemy, the ancient practice of transforming metals and seeking spiritual wisdom. So, as they travel, Santiago learns many things from the Englishman. He discovers that the secrets of alchemy are written on a mystical stone called the Emerald Tablet. The greatest achievement in alchemy is the masterwork, which includes two powerful creations: the Philosopher's Stone, a solid that can turn metal into gold, and the Elixir of Life, a liquid that can heal any illness. The Englishman is heading to the oasis of Al Fayoum, where a famous 200-year-old alchemist lives. He hopes to learn the alchemist's secrets and unlock the mysteries of his craft. The caravan is forced to make a long stop at Al Fayoum to avoid the violent tribal wars happening in the desert. While staying at the oasis, Santiago meets Fatima, a beautiful woman who lives there, and quickly falls in love with her. One day, while walking in the desert, Santiago sees a powerful omen, a sign that the oasis will soon be attacked. Even though it has always been a peaceful place, he warns the tribal chieftains, who take his vision seriously and prepare for the battle. Thanks to Santiago's warning, Al Fayoum successfully defends itself from the attack. Hearing about Santiago's vision, the alchemist becomes interested in him. He takes Santiago deep into the desert and teaches him an important lesson. He must listen to his heart and stay committed to his personal legend. The alchemist convinces Santiago that even though he loves Fatima, he must continue his journey to the pyramids. To help him, the alchemist offers to travel with him through dangerous desert. As Santiago and the alchemist continue their journey through the desert, the alchemist teaches him about the soul of the world, explaining that everything in the universe is connected. Just as they are nearing the pyramids, a group of Arab soldiers captures them. To save their lives, the alchemist gives the soldiers all of Santiago's money and and boldly tells them that Santiago is a powerful alchemist who can turn himself into a wind within 3 days. So Santiago panics because he has no idea how to do this. For the next 3 days, he studies the desert searching for answers. On the third day, he reaches out to the wind and the sun, asking for their help. Together, they create a massive sandstorm, shaking the camp. And at the peak of the storm, Santiago vanishes and suddenly reappears on the other side of the camp. The soldiers, amazed by what they have witnessed, and believe in his power and set both him and the alchemist free. So the alchemist continues traveling with Santiago until they reach a Coptic monastery just a few hours away from the pyramids. There, he shows Santiago his ability to turn lead into gold using the philosopher's stone. Before parting ways, the alchemist gives Santiago a piece of gold and encourages him to complete his journey. Santiago finally reaches the Egyptian pyramids and begins digging for the treasure. However, two men appear, beat him, and take his gold. When Santiago tells them about his dream vision, they assume he has nothing valuable and decide to let him live. Before leaving, one of the men mocks him by sharing his own dream about a treasure buried under a sycamore tree in an abandoned church in Spain. Santiago immediately realizes the truth. His treasure has been in his homeland all along. He returns to Spain, digs under the tree where he first had his dream, and discovers a chest filled with gold and jewels. Now, wealthy and wiser, Santiago plans to return to Al Fayoum, where Fatima is waiting for him, completing his journey for both physically and spiritually. And that's the end of the story. So, yeah, and the full book summary is totally very helpful because all the sequence of events are present there, though there might be um, some scenarios there nga wala jud gi dig deeper, but the sense is understandable, like wala ra siya naputol yun. The sequence is so clear and chronological. So let's get to know why the alchemist fits the mythological or archetypal approach, and we're going to use the key features or common archetypes nga itong you mentioned a while ago. So here it is, key archetypes. So of course, kabilang siya sa Jungian criticism, it's because there is a hero, which named Santiago. And second, the mentor, we have there Melchizedek and the Alchemist. So, wala na ako gilabot si Kuan, katong owner sa shop, cause wala sa siya mention ang name. But maybe na sort of kuan po to siya, mentor. So let's just kuan na po to ka ng apil. And next, we also have here call to adventure and the quest. So the moment nga katong nag-dream si Santiago sa child niya, kanang ingon niya nga naay kuan hidden gold dito sa kuan pyramid, that's a call to adventure kay kanang it serves as kuan man kanang purpose nga nung he wanted to have a journey or travel and finding out kung tinuod ba jud to nga kanang giingon sa fortune teller, gypsy woman, and also katong sa iyang dream, the meaning of his dream. Next, we also have here the shadow challenges and obstacles. So, I think clear man dito nga along the journey there are a lot of hindrances, obstacles he met before niya na achieve ang personal legend niya. And at first, it was mentioned there nga kanang I mean, it wasn't mentioned there, but I'll just going to share it with you. Nga before siya ni set off sa lain nga lugar is iyang gibaligya ang iyahang mga flock. Yeah, kay shepherd ba ito siya niya. For him to have a money to use sa journey na iyang kaanan. And yes, even though at first kay he felt nga yung personal legend jud is just to be a shepherd. However, it was changed entirely because of the people he met along the way. Yes, at first, katong si Melchi Zedek, before siya gisultian ni Melchizedek about sa treasure kay iya pong gihatag ang 10% sa iyahang flock kay momento ilahang negotiation, and ang remaining flock is iyang gibaligya. Yes, and dito po niya nakatunan ng iyahang personal legend. Yes, purpose of life. And later on, ni set off siya dito, nakatong ni crystal owner. I forgot the I forgot the kuan, the place. Yes, ni set off siya dito niya. 1 year siya dito ni stay. Yeah, kay kanang it's very hard to earn money man dito kay ang business nga iyahang ang work nga iyang gitrabaho is gamay ra nya it's not enough for him to have a fair cost para madto og pyramid. Yeah, but unfortunately, even though niingon to ang merchant owner nga it takes many years for you to save money in order for you to have a fair cost para moadto sa pyramid. It was unexpected because of the kanang because of what happened nganing success ang business sa crystal owner. Yes, and that's why nakaset off god siyag another place after a year. Yadto siya dito kanang ni set off na siya ni start na siya sa iyang journey padong pyramid, and padong pyramid na siya yung mga places nga gi stayhan usa before siya naka adto gyud sa Alfayom katong where he met Fatima, the love of his life. Nya nagkauyab sila dito, and also kanang ato nga time there's a lot of kuan jud learnings nga iyang na learn kasong the moment na lakaw na siya, and Fatima didn't kuan bitaw stopped him to continue his journey, and she's she's so understanding. Yes, and he learned that Santiago learned that love is not a hindrance for you to grow more and discover more. Kay supportive man to si Fatima, and they kuan ka nang they plan nga mobalik na to si Santiago after niya ma complete to ang iyang gusto. Yes. And next one, mo to nabot to siya pyramid, and katong gi-abduct sila sa katong alchemist, and nakagawas ra pod tungod sa mga mga instances nga naka lucky kay sila. Lucky kay sila kay murag kuan jud destiny gito nila para makita ng goal niya. Wala man to gikoy si alchemist nga didto na sa sulod sa pyramid, and siya na lang to niya na po'y nagkuan niya, nag-abduct na niya, gibuhian na pod siya nga na challenge, like daghan jud ko yung challenges usad niya nakita ng goal niya without knowing nga wala gid dito sa pyramid ang gold, but instead nara dito sa iyang gidamguhan under the sycamore tree dito ra sa iyang homeland di ay, di ba daga gihasol-hasol lang gid siya, no? Okay, next one, the treasure and transformation. So, the moment he finds out nga okay that the treasure was not in pyramid but instead naa dito sa iyang homeland, nibalik na po siya dito sa Spain. Spain to ang name atas kwan. Iyang homeland, yes. And he dig and find out a box of gold. Yes, and nindot ka siya nga story, it's because though kanang daghan kay siya nagyan nga obstacles, challenges, wala siya na ni-change into a bad guy and wanted to have a revenge for them, but instead kuan dyan nagid siya personal growth, personal development, and it's more likely self-discovery because a lot of knowledge have been instilled within him. Yes, and also it's like kind of a character nga rebirth character. Yes, rebirth character siya kay at first just a normal and ordinary boy, wanted to be a shepherd, but finding out that to there's more to discover. There's more to know in the world, like the soul of the world as mentioned. Kay kuan ni transform siya into a really responsible man. Yes. And I think that's it. That is why it belongs to Jungian criticism, mythological or archetypal criticism. Another factor why it really belongs to the Jungian criticism or mythological or archetypal approach, it's because of the symbolism. present in the novel. And the three mentioned here are the kuan ka ng following things na may definition or representation sa story. First, we have the desert, represents the unknown and the inner struggle of self-discovery, much like the wilderness in mythology. Second, we have the alchemy, a metaphor for personal transformation. Santiago learns that, like turning lead into gold, people must refine themselves to achieve their true potential. And lastly, we have the treasure, the idea that one's true goal is often within, rather than in material wealth, mirrors myths like the search for the Holy Grail. And that's it. That's the reason why it belongs to the Jungian criticism because of the universal patterns that reoccurring in the novel and as well as the collective unconscious which is similar mga siya sa universal patterns, and we can really spot the novel nga kuan gid siya kanang more on growth, self-growth, and self-discovery. And that ends my report. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day. Goodbye.